Hi beautiful, hope you're having a fabulous day. In today's class we're going to be targeting releasing the back. A lot of us have been sitting a lot lately, so we're going to try and release the back and do a few things to make us feel better. We're also going to target the hips, especially this front area of the hips, since again, sitting down shortens this area so much. It's important to start bringing that length again so that you can eventually have a good posture. So whenever you're ready, we're going to start the class. First thing I recommend though is if you can gather some blocks, books, and maybe a blanket. There will be a posture in the class today where you'll be on your knees and it can get quite sore. So if you want to have a blanket nearby that you can just quickly put under your knee, that'll be quite useful, quite good for you, and it might make the practice a little bit more enjoyable. So now is the time. Go and gather everything you need. Blocks, use books, use pillows, use blankets, whatever you need. Just have them nearby so that you can be comfortable and you don't have to rush somewhere to get anything. Also, because of copyright, I can't upload a playlist. I can't play any music during this recording. So I'll be uploading a Spotify playlist to my account on Instagram and also to Facebook. And free to just press it and play along with the class, or any music you like. Maybe you like to practice in silence. Just make sure that the practice is for you. So make it your own. Make it however you like it, however you prefer it, as long as you're comfortable throughout the practice and you feel cozy and at home. Okay, now's the time. Go and get ready. Hi, so hopefully now you've got everything and you're ready to go, and you're sitting somewhere comfortable within your house, wherever you are. Maybe you're practicing outside. So just find a comfortable seated position for now. If you're still standing, now's the time to get closer to the ground. So I'm sitting on a block. It helps me prop myself up and it helps me fix my posture. Also, if you've got a little bit of tense hips still, it does help to sit a bit higher up so that you have that space for the knees and the hips to settle. So just make sure you're nice and comfortable. Whether you have a playlist playing now or not, it's up to you. Maybe you can start it once we actually start the asana practice, because we're going to relax for a bit and do a little bit of relaxation meditation. So whenever you're ready, find your comfortable seated position. You can put a blanket over your legs if you're feeling quite chilly. Again, today's practice, I just want you to make sure that you're nice and comfortable, that this practice is yours and only yours. You're not doing this for anyone else except for yourself. So this is a time for you to feel at ease and within comfort. So please, 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 please do it for yourself. Sit down on your mat however you like. You can have your legs in front of you. Today is all about you. You can have your legs crossed. You can have your legs in Baddha Konasana. However you like it. Just make sure you can sit comfortably there for 5 minutes or so. And whenever you're ready, you're going to take a deep in breath and a big sigh out. Take another deep breath in and a big sigh out. Maybe your eyes are already closed. Maybe now you start closing them. If you feel uncomfortable with your eyes closed, you can keep them semi-open. Just keep your gaze towards the floor, keeping your neck nice and long, your spine nice and long. Now I want you to imagine there's a thread pulling the top of your head towards the ceiling. So you're really lengthening, you're really trying to grow and stretch while you're here. And as you breathe out, you just relax the shoulders, keeping the chest nice and long, keeping the hips in place. If your knees are starting to sneak up, just bring them back down. And if that's sore, you can just adjust whenever you like. You can bring a blanket under your knees, you can bring blocks, you can bring books. Just make sure you're not having to actually keep that action active with your brain. You can just relax the knees towards the floor and work there, okay? And you're just going to focus on your breathing. However it feels today. Perhaps it feels nice and long. perhaps a bit shallow. Whichever way it is, you're not trying to change it. You're just acknowledging how it feels. So paying attention to that, bring your awareness to that. If your chin has started to sneak forwards as you go deeper into your meditation, just tucking the chin ever so slightly so that your spine is long and your back of the neck muscles are starting to get engaged, starting to work. And just breathe. Relaxing that space between the eyebrows. Feeling your whole forehead soothe and relax. Feeling your eyelids soften and your eyes heavy in their sockets. Unclenching the jaw and allowing the whole mouth to relax. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms. Perhaps you can relax the tummy. We tend to have our abs engaged when we're sitting upright. You bring your hand to your tummy, and as you breathe out next, just release and feel that tummy that doesn't look the most attractive, but when it's relaxed, it's so nice. It's like the tension just eases off almost immediately. So let the tummy relax. Don't let the shoulders drop forwards, keep them in place. And breathe. Maybe you can direct the breath to the tummy, let it expand a little bit more. Give it a break today, give your body a break just now. Relaxing the hips and the pelvis. Relaxing knees and the legs. Relax your whole body, all the way down to your toes. So we're going to do square breath today. If you've never tried it before, I'm going to picture a square in front of you. It doesn't matter how big, how small, however you fancy it. And we're going to breathe in for one of the sides. So going up along one side of the square, we're going to hold the breath in for the other side, and then breathe out for the third side and hold with empty lungs onto the fourth side. And we're going to do this for 4 counts for each side. If you're struggling with my counts, you can just shorten the counts into your own, do perhaps 2 or 3. If 4 feels quite easy, just do 6 or more. But for now, just try and follow along with my count, see how you feel. And after a couple of squares, if you want to increase the time or decrease the time, it's up to you. And just follow your counts, and then I'll tell you when to bring it back to just seated calmly and peacefully, okay? So we're going to start breathing in one of the sides of the square for 2, 3, 4, holding the breath in for 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, holding the breath out for 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. And now in your own pace, just do these squares 3 more times. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Once you finish, just go back to your normal breathing. Hopefully you're all down with your square counts now. Just gone back to your normal breathing. Checking how your body feels now. Do you feel any difference? Do you feel like your body is a bit relaxed, a bit more anxious, whatever is going on? Do you feel a difference? What is it? And now I'm going to invite you to create an intention for today's class. I have a suggestion because we're in anxious times and it's quite hard right now to live life as we normally would. Things have changed around us. So I like to suggest that today's intention for practice is that, again, you make the practice your time. This is your time to relax. This is your time to enjoy your practice. Your time to feel happy. So with that intention in mind, you take your practice as you like it. So if you want to stay in a posture longer, you can. If you want to pause me for a while, you can. Just make sure that you're the happiest you can be with this practice today. This is my suggestion for an intention. You're more than welcome to change it if you want something else, if something else resonates with you more. If you want the good old, I want to feel strong, I want to feel powerful, then that's totally okay, and I support you with it. So just whatever intention you pick, just let it form clearly in your mind. See it and visualize it. I want to feel strong. I want to feel powerful. This is my time. This is my practice. This is my time to be happy. Whichever intention it is, make it a sentence, visualize it, and keep it like a mantra so that you can use it throughout your practice. Every time something gets challenging or hard, you just see that intention in front of you. So see it and repeat it as many times as you need. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Take another deep breath in and a big sigh out. Lovely. And bring the palms of your hands together, rubbing them gently to warm up a little bit. Bring them in front of your eyes, protecting your eyes from the light. And then slowly blinking your eyes open inside your palms. Let them adjust to the little light coming through. And whenever you're ready, letting your hands come down towards your lap. And welcome to your practice. So we're now ready to start. So if you've got a block or anything under your buttocks, now's the time to move it to the side. If when you sit down, you can feel that your hips are quite sore from sitting a lot, just bring it back, but try not to use it for now because we're going to try and loosen up the space. Okay, So on your next breath in, just bringing the arms all the way up, reaching up towards the ceiling. Let the shoulders come all the way up till you're really trying to stretch that back. And breathe in and breathe out. And breathe and reach. And breathe out. Breathe and reach. And breathe out. Okay? So on your breath out, you're just going to bring your hands behind your back, clasp them together, and you're going to breathe in, lift the chest, send the hands towards the mat. Maybe tilt your head back, not completely, don't crunch up the neck. The neck is still nice and long. Your gaze is maybe towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, letting go of the hands, grabbing that imaginary gigantic beach ball that is so much fun to play with summer. And you're really curling the spine. So you're really tucking everything that's in here all the way in. Your arms reach forwards and you're pressing against that imaginary ball. So the arms are active, they're waking up. And as you breathe in, open the chest, bring the arms back. And breathe out, grab that beach ball. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. On your next breath out, just coming back to neutral, keeping a nice long spine. So you really want that S curvature at the back forwards. And you just want to go back to it every time I say neutral spine. You just let your buttocks sit on the mat and you let your spine be in its normal. You're not tucking everything in, you're not curling, you're not hyperextending, you're just sitting there every time I say neutral, okay? And then if you find it comfortable, just rolling to sit on your shins. If that's uncomfortable, just stay seated as you were before. And as you breathe in, you're going to lengthen towards the ceiling. My chest is opening a little bit, that's okay. I'm creating a little bit of a back bend just to start stretching. And as I breathe out, I come back to my neutral spine. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Then from there, you're just going to bend that right arm, let it come down. So right hand comes to touch the upper back, and then the left hand comes to the elbow. And it's just a little passive effort. There's just a weight of your left hand bringing the right hand a little bit further down, and you're trying to feel the stretch along the tricep. And breathe. And then switching the hands around. So this time, bend the left and the right arm is just helping it along, just giving it that gentle stretch, waking up the shoulders and the triceps. And breathe and lengthen. Breathe out. Bring your hands along to your side. It's almost like you're going to child's pose, but not completely. So your hands don't come down towards the mat. Your forehead maybe rests on the mat and your knees are close together. And as you breathe in, you're going to press against the shins. And you're going to start lifting so that you've got your shins on the floor, but your body's reaching up. And breathe out. Fold. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Nice. So from there, keeping the core nice and strong, you're just going to bring your right foot forwards. And then just stand there, starting to wake everything up. And as you breathe out, bring that leg back in, bring the left leg forwards. And breathe out, hands to the mat, pressing against the hands, tucking your toes behind you. On your next breath in, you're going to lift the knees off the mat. And as you breathe out, you're going to send the chest towards the hips. So you're really reaching back, you're pressing the hands against the mat. And maybe you start sending the heels to the floor, maybe you keep the knees bent. Maybe you're too close like me and you need to take a step back to form that little V with your body. But keeping the knees bent just to start. because nothing is warmed up yet. So we're just trying to start nice and slow, keeping the knees bent, keeping your hands pressed against the mat, waking the shoulders up. And breathe. And on your next breath in, look forward and take a giant step to the front of the mat. If that's not happening just now, take small steps until you reach the front of the mat. Maybe your hands are lifting, that's okay. Just keep the hands hovering or bring them to your shins. And as you breathe in, coming to your halfway lift, chest extends, back is nice and long, you're looking ahead. And breathe out, fold forwards. And breathe in, coming to your halfway lift. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lovely, let your head dangle. And with your feet together, big toes touching, knees in line with the ankles, you're going to breathe in, bend the knees. And come into your chair pose. So nice strong chair pose. So you're tucking that tailbone, you're engaging the core. Everything is lifting from here. You're trying to create that nice long line. Hands come up, shoulders relax. And on your next breath in, you're going to bring the arms back, start arching the spine, bring your chest forwards, creating that bit of a back bend. So you're no longer tucking your tailbone, you're letting it curl because you're just trying to bring some movement to the spine. And on your next breath in, just coming back to your chair pose. And breathe in next, chest lifts. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Lovely. And breathe out, coming back to your Utkatasana. And this time, from there, keeping the left leg bent, you're going to breathe in, bring the right leg towards the chest, and as you do so, you extend the left leg, but create a little bit of a micro bend on a knee so that you're not hyper stretching that leg. And breathe in, reach up, bring that right leg really nice and close to the chest. And breathe out, start sending that leg back. Try to find your balance. If your balance is a bit flimsy, just bring your right foot to the mat and walk it back. If you've got your balance, start sending that leg back, reaching towards the back of the room. And in doing so, you start bending the left knee so that your leg just slowly lands on the mat. And you're now in your high lunge. Ooh, and you breathe and you tuck your tailbone and you keep that right leg strong. If when you're tucking the tailbone is creating a lot of tension in the front of the leg, just bend the knee ever so slightly, hold it there. Left knee stacked over the ankle, right leg nice, strong, or slight bend so that you're not pinching the back. And breathe. On your next breath out, bringing the hands to the mat, you're going to keep the right hand in line with the left foot and breathe in, send the left arm, all the way up. You're trying to really reach towards the ceiling and you're trying to keep that left hip all the way in line with the body. Lovely. On your next breath in, maybe you come to the tips of your fingers on your right hand. May you just lift from there. You're going to lift the body and your chest is facing that left leg. Your arms are wide and you're looking over the left hand. If that's too much of a turn, you're just working on it. Maybe you bring the hand to the hip and you're just working on getting that turn. Just see where you're at today. And as you breathe out, you bring the left hand towards the right leg and the right arm just reaches up. Yeah. And breathe in, press through to center. Breathe out, cartwheel your hands towards the mat, pressing the hands firmly. Bring the left leg back. Take a down dog. Maybe this time your heels are starting to reach towards the mat. If that's not happening just yet, just keep the knees bent. Keep your back nice and long. And on your next breath in, look forwards. Take a big step to the front of the mat. And breathe out, fold all the way. Let your head dangle. Keep your knees bent if you need to. Bring your hands to your shins if that's more comfortable. And on your next breath in, come into your halfway lift. And breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, halfway lift. And breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold. And on your next breath in, just come into your chair pose. This time, bring your left leg with you. Right leg stays on the ground. And you're reaching up and you're really tucking that leg in, keeping everything engaged. And as you breathe out, you start sending the left leg back. See how you feel on the side. Maybe walk the foot back. Maybe from there, you've got a nice, strong balance going. And you just start bringing that foot to the mat. And breathe. As you breathe out, hands come down towards the mat, keeping the left hand in line with the right foot. You're going to breathe in and bring the right arm all the way up. Bring that right hip in so that it's in line with the toes. Then from there, see whether you need to come onto your tips of the fingers to help you lift, or maybe you just press yourself up, looking over the right hand, chest is turned towards the right leg, right knee is still bent. And maybe the right hand reaches towards the left leg and the left arm reaches towards the back of the mat. And breathe in, press through to center. Breathe out, hands towards the mat. Press yourself back into your down dog. Take a breather there. Maybe you want to go into your child's pose instead. Whichever one you want. Now's the time to take it. No one's there to judge you, it's just you in your own space. So you can take whichever posture you like. Or if the practice gets a bit too much for you, just take a pause, go into your child's pose, pause the video, do whatever you like, be happy. Just find your happy place in this class, please. So breathe in whichever one you're at just now. If you've gone with down dog and now you feel like you could actually enjoy a break in your child's pose, just change it anytime. Whew. Because what we're going to do next is this sequence we've just done, but we're going to speed it up and make it a flow. So today's class is going to be built around that. We're going to repeat shorter sequences a few times so that we build up a flow out of those sequences. So we're really working towards it. It just makes me so happy. It's so much fun to create these classes for you guys, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoyed creating them. So we're going to build up to the flow, and hopefully if we're filling up for it at the end, we're just going to do a big whole sequence, all with fast movement, in breath, out breath, switching postures. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. If you're not feeling it, just do it a little bit later. Take a break before. If you're really feeling it, just do it a couple times. However you like it. Repeat it twice. Have your fun. And hopefully you've had your chance to rest in your down dog or in your child's pose. So if you're in child's pose, starting to tuck your toes and lift the hips, joining everyone in down dog. And once we're all in down dog, we're going to breathe in, bend the knees, look forwards, and step towards the front of the mat. And breathe out, fold all the way. And we're going to start our sequence from here. I hope you're all ready. So from here, breathing and coming to your halfway lift. Breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, halfway lift. And breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, halfway lift. And breathe out, fold all the way. On your next breath in, bending the knees, coming to your chair pose, tucking that tailbone nice and strong. And breathe in, bend the back and just lift the chest. And breathe out, tuck the tailbone, come into your Utkatasana. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. From Utkatasana, bring your right leg towards the chest. Breathe out, sending it back nice and slowly. Find your balance. If you need a hold of a wall, do it. Letting that right leg land. Breathe in, press into your high lunge. Keep it strong. Just because it's quick doesn't mean that everything should be engaged in the same way as if it was slow. And breathe out. Right hand comes down towards the mat. Left hand comes all the way up. From there, pressing all the way up, looking over the left hand. Find your balance. Take your time. Letting the left hand come down towards the right leg. Breathe in, right arm reaches up. And breathe out, back to center, hands to the mat. Press yourself through to your plank, and from there, down dog. Lovely. Breathing in, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump towards the front of the mat, and breathe out, fold all the way. As you breathe in, bending the knees, coming to your Utkatasana, this time bringing the left leg up. Lovely. Breathe out. Leg starts going back. Lands on the mat, breathe in, high lunge. Breathe out, left hand towards the mat. Breathe in, right arm all the way up. Find your balance. Maybe from there, you just come to your side twist and you hold it there, looking over the right hand. Maybe your right hand comes down towards your left leg at this point and your left arm reaches up. And breathe in, back to center. Breathe out, cartwheeling your hands towards the mat. Press back into your down dog or your child's pose, whichever one you prefer. As you breathe in, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump towards the front of the mat. And breathe out, fold all the way. Breathe in, pressing into your Utkatasana. And from your Utkatasana, come all the way up. Give your legs a shake. And well done. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Take a minute to breathe, drink some water, and we're going to move on to the next big bit. Yes! So by now, you'll have had your water, and you're ready to go, and hopefully we're all on the same page. Again, pause the video if you need more time, that's absolutely fine. So coming back to the front of your mat, this time keeping the feet about hip distance apart. We're going to breathe in and come to our Utkatasana, but with a wider stance. So you're still tucking the tailbone, you're still lifting the front of the pelvis from there. Make sure your big toes are in line. I feel like my body started to create some discrepancies from being at home. And, you know, there's a little bit of a skewed body where my right foot generally prefers to be a bit further ahead. So just looking down, spreading your toes and making sure that your big toes are in line. Try to bring that alignment back to the body that maybe you've lost through the lockdown. Keeping the knees bent, breathe in, lift the arms up. And from there, breathe out. And on your next breath in, again, you're going to create that little bit of a back bend. It's not a too far one. You're not crunching the back. You're not trying to drop yourself all the way down. It's just lifting with the chest. So imagining there's a thread pulling the front of the body all the way up. So you're really imagining that thread lift. So my chest is lifting towards the ceiling so that my lower back stays nice and long as well. And breathe out. Come back to neutral. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out into your Utkatasana. From there, fold forwards, hands to the mat. Breathe into your halfway lift. Breathe out, fold. Hopefully you'll be feeling a very different stretch along the backs of the legs now with the legs wider. And breathe in, come to your halfway lift with the wider stance. And breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in. And breathe out. Ooh. And breathe in, coming to your chair pose again, bending the knees. This time bringing the right leg. You're in a wider stance, so watch your balance. It'll be a little bit harder to get it. And you're going to breathe in, bring that right leg all the way up. And breathe out. Send it back as we've done before. This time, Once you're in your high lunge, you're going to let that right knee come down towards the mat. So the right knee is a little bit further back than the hips. Oh, and you're going to breathe in. Bring the arms all the way up. If you want to bring a blanket or anything under that back knee, do it now. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. And breathe in, lift the arms. Breathe out. You're going to sink, but you're not sinking forwards. You're not bringing the left leg to join at the calf and the thigh. Instead, what you're going to do is from here, just lower the hips. So you're just feeling a stretch on your inner thigh on the right side, hopefully. Okay, so it doesn't need to be too far. You're still holding it. Your left leg is still active and trying to keep you upright. Lovely. And on your next breath out, you're going to straighten that left leg. You can keep the foot on the mat. If you don't have the flexibility at the top of the foot, just let your heel press against the mat and your toes lift ever so slightly. And breathe and lift. Breathe out, fold forwards. As you breathe in again, start bending that left knee, come forward to the chest, press into your low lunge. And as you breathe out, straightening that leg, folding forwards. And as you breathe in, bending the left leg, press up into your low lunge. And as you breathe out next, you're going to bring the hands to the mat. You're going to keep the right hand next to the left foot. The right knee is still bent and your left arm is reaching up. The left knee is going to try and sneak out, so keep it hugged in close to the body and keep your left arm reaching high and above. From here, maybe you want to tuck your toes and just start lifting that right leg, sending it straight. And keep that arm all the way up. And now, on your toes, on your right foot, you're going to turn onto the outside of the right foot around the back. You can see what I'm doing if you want to before you start. Then I'm going to turn my left toes to the other side, so to be in line with my chest facing forwards. And I'm going to hold it from there, lift up. I feel like my foot is a bit too far ahead, it's putting some pressure on my knee. So I'm just going to take a step back with that foot. Lovely. And to make it, just take it up a notch. You can stay here, or you can lower the right hip. It doesn't have to touch the mat, it can hover. And then breathe in, come up. And breathe out, down. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, down. And breathe and come up. Lovely. Now, from here, you can bring your right knee to the mat. Nice and slowly. Maybe you use your hands and you help. Bring your right knee in line with the left heel. Maybe there's about a hand's distance apart between your heel and your knee, and that's okay. And you work there. And you breathe and bring your arms up. If you can, just starting to move that knee very close to the heel, so they're nearly touching. If I roll onto my side, you'll see they're touching here. So just see how you feel. You can keep that distance if that helps with your balance as well. And I'm going to open my arms wide, bring my left arm in front of me in line with my chest, bring my right arm above it. Then I'm going to cross at the elbows. So you bend both elbows and you join both palms in eagle arms, and you breathe and bring the arms up so that the elbows are parallel to the floor. If you're comfortable here, you can stay, or you can lower the hips just ever so slightly, so you're feeling more around the back leg. And as you breathe in, letting go of the hands, you're going to bring the right hand down to the mat. So there should be like about a square forming with your body. And then this time, you're going to turn your right foot to be perpendicular to the long, well, parallel to the long side of the mat, short side of the mat. And you're going to bring the left leg, straighten it back, and lift the left hand. So it's an assisted side plank on here. So if you're feeling it quite strongly already, you can stay here. If you want to feel more of the core engaging, you can just turn those back toes to face up the way, and you should feel the core kick in a little bit more on the left side of the body. And as you breathe out, bring the left hand to the mat, bring both knees together, and tucking your toes, just send yourself into your down dog. As you breathe in, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump towards the front of the mat, and breathe out, fold all the way. Remember to keep the feet wide so they're about hip distance apart, and you're folding all the way to the mat. Releasing the air that's in the tummy so that your chest can get a little bit closer. My knees are bent. You're more than welcome to keep your knees bent as well if you don't want to feel too strong the stretch. And then whenever you're ready, bending the knees, starting to come into your wide Utkatasana, and this time bringing the left leg towards the chest, find your balance, and breathe out, send that leg back, let it land in your high lunge, and from there the left knee comes all the way down. So you can stay here lifting on the lunge, you're tucking the tailbone, the front of the pelvis is still lifting, and as you breathe out, you're going to sink at the hips, making sure that your right knee is still stacked over the ankle. And breathe in, come higher up, bring the hips, straightening that right leg, maybe your toes left, however you like it. Breathe out, fold forwards. Keep breathing wherever you are, whichever variation you're doing. And as you breathe in, bending that right knee, press up into your high lunge, low lunge, sorry. And breathe out, straightening that right leg, folding all the way. And breathe in, bend the knee, press into your low lunge. One last time. And breathe out, straightening the right leg, folding all the way forwards. And breathe in, bending that right knee, letting the chest come forwards. And tucking your toes on your back leg. Okay, so keeping the left hand on the mat, you're going to breathe and bring the right arm all the way up. And this time I'm going to turn onto the other side of the mat so that you can see what I'm doing. So my right arm is reaching up, and this time on my toes on my left leg, I'm going to turn onto the outside of my left foot. And I'm going to let my right toes turn to be perpendicular to the mat. And I'm going to keep on lifting towards the ceiling with my right hand. I'm going to adjust my left hand, it's getting quite sore when it is. And maybe stay here, maybe lower the hip and bring it back up. And lower and bring it back up. And lower and bring it back up. Lovely. Maybe now you find your balance. Maybe bring both hands to the mat. Maybe you still have your right arm reaching up. Bring your left knee to join or stay about hand distance apart from your right foot, whichever one you are. Just now Find your balance. And then bring your arms wide. This time, right arm comes under, left arm above, crossing in eagle arms. I'm going to lift my elbows ever so slightly. I'm going to sink a little bit lower at the hips. And breathe. I'm getting very warm. This is a strong practice today. Breathe and bring the arms wide, letting the left hand come down towards the mat. This time keeping the left foot on the mat in line with the right hand. I'm going to send the right foot towards the end. Right arm, reaching up. Your fingers are facing, on your left hand are facing the top of the mat. And maybe turn my toes up on my right foot so that my core is a little bit more engaged. And breathe out, come down, bring the hands towards the mat. Like your child's pose or your down dog, your choice. So what we've just done now is another sequence that we're going to repeat and make it a little bit faster. And then we're going to repeat these two sequences we've done so far and make it a flow by the end of the class. Okay, so take your time, breathe here. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Whew. If your homes are feeling really warm like mine is, feel free to go and have a sip of water. Don't drink too much though, it will cool you down immensely and you'll lose some of the benefits that you've already gathered from the practice as your body is feeling warmer. So don't drink too much, but do drink some water if you're feeling like you need it. Don't deprive yourself. Now whenever you're ready, if you're in child's pose or if you chose to take a down dog instead, everyone joining at down dog. So if you're in child's pose, breathe in, lift the head, breathe out, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come to your down dog. And then breathe in, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump towards the front of the mat, and breathe out, fold all the way. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. You're going to breathe in, come to your halfway lift, and breathe out, fold all the way. On your next breath in, bending the knees deep, coming into your chair pose with a wide stance. And breathe in, chest lifts. Breathe out, Utkatasana. Breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. On your next breath in, bring the right leg towards the chest. Breathe out, step it back. Letting that right knee come down all the way. Breathe in, arms left. Breathe out, sink at the hips. Breathe in, straightening that left leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, bending the left leg, coming into your folded low lunge. And breathe in, come all the way up. Breathe out, fold all the way. Breathe in, bending that knee, come up. And breathe out. Right hand towards the mat, tucking your toes on your right foot. Send the right leg straight. Breathe in, press up. Turning onto the outside of your right foot. I'm bringing my left foot a little bit closer to me, pressing up from there. Lifting into your almost like a side plank. And then I'm going to bring my right knee right behind my left foot and come up from there. Left arm under, right arm above, eagle arms. And as I breathe in and lift the elbows, I'm going to breathe out and sink at the hips. And breathe. And then bringing my right hand to the mat, turning so that my right knee is still on the mat. Left foot goes back. I'm going to go into my side plank. I'm going to make it a little bit extra and just bring my leg up. You can keep your foot on the mat, it's more than okay. Now a little twist on this. This time you're going to bring that left foot towards the front of the mat. Aha, I know. And step to the front. Woo! If you don't know how I got there, just press against my left foot, lift in my right, and join them at the front. As easy as that. And breathe out, fold all the way. Breathe in, bending the knees, Utkatasana. This time, bring in the left knee towards the chest. Breathe out, bring it back. Let the left knee come down towards the mat. Breathe in, press up. Breathe out, sink at the hips. Breathe in, straightening that right leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. And breathe in, bending the right knee, press up. Sink at the hips. And breathe in, come all the way up, straightening that leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, bend the knee, come a lot higher up. This time, bring the left hand in line with the right foot. Sorry, my brain is going kaput. And then tucking the toes on the left leg, send that leg straight. And this time, letting the outside of the left foot come down. Right foot is perpendicular. Reach up with the right arm. And then nice and slowly, bring that left knee behind the right foot. I'm going to turn to face you. So right foot is in front, arms crossed. This time, right arm comes under, left arm crosses over, eagle arms. And as we lift the elbows on the breath in, we sink the hips. So you're not sitting down. Your legs are engaged and they're keeping you up and maybe shaking a little bit. Mine certainly are. And that's fine. And breathe. On your next breath in, arms come wide, left hand comes down, and the right foot goes to the end of the mat. Maybe keep the side plank with a foot on the mat. Maybe lift that leg. And as you breathe out, bringing the right foot to the front of the mat, all the way towards your left hand, bringing the left foot to join. Breathe out, fold forwards. I'll just take a breather there. On your next breath in, bend the knees. Come all the way up. Lift up with the arms. You're really lifting, really reaching. And breathe out. Give your legs a shake. Well done so far. You've done 2 sequences. We're going to do them all together. I just want you to do just one more thing. Just have a little bit more fun before we actually go into the 2 sequences together at the same speed we've just done this one now. So if you find that manageable, please join. If something goes wrong, you lost track of where you were, this is a video. That's the best thing. You can't ask me to pause the class normally, but you can pause the video, go back, start again, maybe slow down the speed. I think you can do that on YouTube, I'm not sure. Just find your place there, and no matter what, don't get frustrated. Just take it nice and easy. Remember, I've practiced this plenty, and I adopted this a couple of weeks ago, so that's why it comes so easily for me. It took a lot of practice. Okay, so give your legs a shake, make sure you're nice and comfortable. And whenever you're ready, we're going to come to the top of the mat, and we're going to step out with right or foot or left foot. It depends on where your laptop is, where you're seeing me. So just take a step out with either leg. It doesn't really matter, but keep facing me so that you can see where I'm up to. And I've got my feet about a leg distance apart. I'm quite short, so it might look like I'm quite close. Actually, it is about the distance of a leg. That's fine. My toes are facing out the way. I'm going to breathe in, lengthen the body, and as I breathe out, keeping my feet about a bit more than 45 degrees, just a little bit more, closer to 90. And I'm just going to start from here, just sinking at the hip. So I'm working on that hip opening because I really want you guys to invest some time in that. And if you feel like it's quite nice and comfortable, I'm going to make it extra challenging. So I want you here to still tuck your tailbone. Oof, you feel that stretch almost immediately on your inner thighs. But please do tuck your tailbone and bend your knees as much as possible. It's really hard to find a comfortable position this pose, although I say find your comfortable space. It's really hard because I can already feel my legs. They're burning so badly. We've done a lot of work just above the knees and the hips. But try and breathe and keep up with what I'm trying to do, hopefully. Maybe bring your arms wide. Maybe that makes it extra sore in the legs. So you bring your hands to the hips. Feels comforting. I don't know how it changes your weight bearing. I don't know, but it feels a lot easier when my hands are on my hips. And hopefully I've talked long enough that I've distracted you and you've lost track of how long you've been here. But from here, we'll see whatever leg you have in front. I'm going to say right. Let's try right, even if you're not with the right leg closer to the top of the mat. Let's go with the right leg. And you're going to start shifting your weight towards that right. Now, this is where the distance might come into play. So if I come here, I can just keep on lowering down and I'm okay with it. My right heel just starts lifting. But what I like to do is to actually keep my right heel on the mat. So I'm just going to let my left foot slide along the mat. This mat is actually not slidey at all. It creates a little bit of a mat burden, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to work from here. And bring my hands together in front of my chest. I'm going to breathe in. I feel that stretch. My toes are flexed. My foot is going. It's all fine. Then I'm going to help out with the hands on the mat. So bringing the hands to the center. And I'm going to switch to the other side. My English starting to go. That is showing how tired I am right now. Whew. And we're going to do it a little bit faster. So switch side. And switch side. And switch side. And switch side. Lovely. Coming back to center. Maybe your feet come a little bit closer again. We're just going to do this horse stance a little bit more. And breathe in, straighten the legs. Give your legs a big shake. Hopefully you're all ready to do our sequence all together, all in one go. So this is a bit different from the pop-up class I taught. I've just changed it ever so slightly because I would like to spend more time on this. And then whenever you're ready, take as many breaths as you need. Bring your feet about hip distance apart again. Gonna breathe in, come to your Utkatasana. And breathe in next, chest lifts. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. On your next breath in, bringing the right knee towards the chest. Breathe out, step it back. In your high lunge, nice and strong. Lift the chest, tuck that tailbone, really lifting. Breathe out, right hand comes down towards the mat, left arm reaches all the way up. Breathe in, press up. Chest faces the left leg, looking over the left hand. Left hand comes down towards the right leg. Right arm comes all the way up towards the back of the mat. Breathe in, press through to center. Breathe out, hands to the mat. But this time bring the right foot forwards to join the left. And breathe in, bending the knees. Bring the left knee towards the chest. And from there, step back. Ooh, nice and strong. Breathe in, lifting your high lunge. Breathe out, left hand towards the mat. Breathe in, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. From there, pressing up, looking over your right hand. Right hand comes down towards the left leg. Left arm reaches towards the back of the mat. And breathe in, press through to center. Breathe out, hands to the mat. Let your left foot come forwards towards the top of the mat. Breathe out and fold all the way. Moving super fast. Breathe in, come to your Utkatasana. Right leg comes up. Breathe out, send that right leg back. Let that right foot land on the mat. I'm losing my balance from speed, so take a breather if you need to. Don't join me on losing my balance. And then your right knee comes down towards the mat. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, sink at the hips. If your knee starts going forwards too much, just take a step forwards with the left foot. Breathe in, come up, straighten that left leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, bend the left knee, keeping the right hand on the mat next to the left foot. Tucking your toes on your right leg. You're going to roll onto the outside of the right foot and let your left foot turn to the side and come up. Bring your left hand up. Maybe from there find it quite easy to bring your right knee in line with the left heel. Coming up, left arm under, right arm above. Cross with your eagle arms. And breathe in, lift the elbows. Breathe out, sink at the hips. Breathe in, come through to center. Open your arms wide. Let the right hand come down towards the mat, sending your left foot towards the back. Maybe you're in your side plank with the leg lifted, maybe your foot's on the mat, whichever one. It's absolutely fine. And as you breathe out, left hand comes down all the way. Maybe your right foot turns and you join with the left knee. Roll back into a down dog. On your breath out, sorry. As you breathe in, step forwards. Breathe out, fold all the way. Breathe in, come into your Utkatasana. And this time bring the left leg all the way up. Breathe out, stepping back. Letting that left knee come down. Breathe in, reach up in your low lunge. Breathe out, sink at the hips. Breathe in, straighten that right leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, bending that right knee. Letting your left hand stay on the mat next to your right foot. Tucking your toes on your left. Turn onto that left side. Let your right foot maybe come a little bit further back. And lift up. As you breathe out, the left knee comes right behind the right ankle. Woohoo! This time, right arm under, left arm above. Cross the arms, eagle arms. Breathe in, lift the elbows. Lift, not lift. Breathe out, sink at the hips. Woo. As you breathe in, come up, arms wide. Left hand comes down towards the mat. Right foot reaches towards the back of the mat. And as you breathe out, right hand comes down. Oh, knees come down towards the mat. And just going to your child's pose. And taking a break. And very well done. That was the fastest paced flow we've ever done. Whew, I'm feeling quite warm. So take some time here, just catch your breath, make sure you're nice and comfortable. The next bit we're doing is a little bit easier. It's part of relaxation. Whew. But you want to have your breath going with you. So if you're in your child's pose, you're going to breathe in, lift the head. Breathe out, walk your hands in towards you. And sit on your shins. As you breathe in, you're going to lift the hips. You're just really trying to straighten the body. Create a nice long line. Your buttocks are engaged. You're really squeezing your body. So nice to just stretch. And breathe out, sink, sit back down. Hands come forwards. So your palms are against the mat. You tuck your toes behind you and roll into your down dog. On your next breath in, you're going to bring the right leg all the way up. And as you breathe out, the right knee comes to try and touch the nose. But bring the right shin to land so that your knee is in line with the heels of the hands. If your leg lands too far back, that's okay, just help it along and see how far it goes. Maybe you're standing here and that's okay. If you are standing quite high up, it's really hard to keep the balance. So maybe if you're here, you just bring blocks or books to either side of your hands to help you prop up. If you can come a little bit further down, just working there. Actually, what we're not working is not the front leg, we're working the back leg. I just want that length that comes along with the front of the hips. Yeah. So you're really lifting from there. Maybe your arms come up. And as you breathe out, the hands come down. If you need a few more breaths, do feel free to do so. And then bringing your hands, pressing them firmly against the mat, tucking your toes on your left foot. You're going to breathe in, bring the right leg towards the chest, and then all the way back into your down dog. Three-legged dog. And as you breathe out this time, your right foot is going to land right next to the heel of your right hand. And you're going to let your left knee come down towards the mat. Now this is the posture I mentioned for blankets and blocks. So if you have either, both, everything, this is the time where you can bring something under your right knee. It's really sore, and normally I struggle a bit with this posture. But I have a trick. If you don't have anything at hand, I'm just going to say tuck your toes and just bring your knee a little bit further back. Although your knee is already behind the hip, just bring it a little bit more so that when you roll your knee up, you feel like you're not on the patella, but instead on the space just above the patella, and that's less sore. So maybe you're here, sinking at the hips, pressing against the right foot nice and strongly. Maybe you can grab a hold of that back foot and reach up with the right hand. And if you can, just breathe. If it gets sore, do come down. And breathe out slowly, let go. Straightening that right leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. As you breathe in, bend that right foot. Send the left leg straight. And, hands on the mat. Press back into your down dog. So we're going to do the other side. So whenever you're ready, breathe in, bring the left leg up. And as you breathe out, bring the left shin between the hands. So again, make any adjustments you like. I want to feel that stretch at the front of the hips on the right leg this time. And breathe in, come up. You might think I'm doing a little bit of a back bend. I am. I'm really lifting with my chest so that there's no cramping up on my back. And breathe out. Hands to the mat, tucking your toes of your right leg. Breathe out, roll back into your three-legged dog. And then bringing the knee towards the nose. We're going to step that left foot forwards and let the right knee come down. Again, you want that knee a bit behind the hip. Maybe a little bit further back if it's sore on the knee. And maybe see if you can create that bend on the back leg. If you can, reaching back with the right hand to grab a hold of the right foot and the left arm reaches up. If it's sore, just come down, adjust. And breathe out, hands come down. Don't let that foot ricochet, release it very slowly. And then straightening that left leg. Breathe in, breathe out, fold forwards. As you breathe in, bend the knee. Take a step to the front of the mat. And breathe out, fold all the way. This is where you're folding, ignoring all the rules. So you're just creating a little bit of a bend on the knee just so that you don't hyper stretch. But your hands can dangle. Maybe your hands just touch the mat. Your shoulders are right up at your ears, and that's okay. Just releasing the weight of the upper body and using that to stretch the backs of the legs. As you breathe in, leaving the knees a little bit bent, coming all the way up one vertebra at a time. Whew. And breathe out to give your legs a shake. So now going into our relaxation phase. We're nearly done with a class, I swear. So bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, keeping your toes about 45 degrees from the rest of the body. Going to breathe in, lengthen the chest. Breathe out, fold until your chest is parallel to the floor. And from there you start bending the knees. And now you see where you're at, because maybe your heels start lifting as you start lowering. That's okay. Maybe you can keep your knees on the mat and just lower all the way so that you're in your yogi squat. Maybe some of you will start bending and we'll stop here. That's okay. It's just a little bit more uncomfortable if you're higher up, but you can do it. You've got strong legs now after all this practice. Maybe you're here just pressing the knees away. Maybe lower all the way and use your elbows now to press the knees away and breathe. Keep a nice long neck around the back. And from here, nice and slowly, if you're quite high up, just be careful because you're going to find your way to sitting. If you're quite low down, you can just lower the hips all the way. So just find your way to sitting. Actually, I'm going to keep facing you. And sitting down, doesn't matter how your legs are, just sit comfortably. Just now, we're going to do a little bit more relaxation before we go into Shavasana. And you're going to breathe in, expand the chest, really create that space. And breathe out, you're going to give yourself a big hug. You've done very well today. This was not an easy practice. I got very warm and I got very tired and my legs feel really sore. So you've done so well just now. And breathe in, expand the chest. And breathe out, give yourself another hug. Maybe switch the arms around. Just give yourself a hug and thank your body for being here today and for doing all of this hard work that you set up for yourself. Your body will thank you one day, but right now you should thank it for doing everything that you set your mind to. And breathe in, expand the chest. Breathe out, give yourself another hug as a thank you to everyone who joined you in this practice. Even if it wasn't at the same time, if all of our energies weren't close together, just thank everyone who's attended this practice and who's had fun like you have. Now, whenever you're ready, just lying down on your mat. We're not completely done yet. We're just going to do a little bit more relaxation. So lying down on your mat, you're going to breathe in and bring the right knee to the chest. So you're going to give it a cuddle. You're going to bring your hands above the leg and you're just going to bring it a little bit closer just to give it that stretch. And then from there, keeping a hold of the right knee with the left hand, you're going to bring the leg and let that knee drop towards the left side. If it doesn't go all the way, just bring a block. Or even better, if you don't have a block, just support your leg with your arm. You just want that little spinal twist. So you can, if you've got space, you can open your right arm wide. If you don't have the space, you can keep your arm by your side, but try and keep your right shoulder on the mat. Keep it from lifting. And if you're wondering what my left leg is doing, just rolling with the flow really. And breathe in, bring the knee to the chest. Breathe out, let that right knee come down. Adjust the hips. And breathe in, bring the left knee this time. Give it a cuddle. And then bring the right hand onto the outside of the knee let it drop towards the right side. Same thing here, you're trying to keep that left shoulder on the mat. If it's lifting, just support your knee, don't let it drop so low. Just support it so that you still get that spinal twist, but your shoulder is nice and comfortable on the mat. And then in the knees to the chest, either giving your knees a big cuddle or going to your happy baby pose. It's your choice. Just make sure it is the one you prefer and roll from side to side, or if you've got time, do both. And then whenever you're ready, letting the feet drop towards the mat and preparing yourself for Shavasana. So make sure you're nice and warm, or you've had your drink of water. So you can hit pause now as well. And if my playlist has drifted along and there's no longer a very calming, soothing song, just change the playlist. Another reminder that I think is quite useful is stop autoplay on your YouTube, so that when I disappear from this recording and leave you in your Shavasana in your own time, that something else doesn't start and disturb your practice. So take time now, make sure you're going to be able to enjoy your Shavasana. I do recommend 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be with you for the first 3 or 4, and then give yourself some time to enjoy that Shavasana. So make sure you're nice and comfortable, so you're warm, you've got fuzzy socks, you've got your fuzzy blanket. Maybe because you're home, you can even have a pillow under your head or a pillow under your lower back. Maybe you had your sip of water, maybe you've got your tea. Some of you like essential oils, apply them so that you can enjoy your Shavasana as best as you can. But please do stop autoplay so that your YouTube doesn't just come along with something funky that might disturb your sleep. So go pause my video, go get yourself ready, and then I'll meet you back here whenever you're ready. So welcome back if you've left to get yourself ready for your Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, just lie down on your mat. Make sure you're nice, comfortable and warm, and that you're going to be okay staying in whatever position you're in just now for the next 10 minutes or so. So if there's a little bit of your body that's starting to bother you now, maybe that hand doesn't feel like it's in the correct placement, maybe your spine doesn't feel like it's aligned, maybe there's a little bit more on one side than on the other, now is the time to adjust it so that you can just lie down in your Shavasana and enjoy it as much as you can without having to think about whether you should fidget or not. So making sure you're nice and comfortable, lying down on your mat, closing your eyes, tending to anything that needs tending to just now. Take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Take another deep breath in and a big sigh out. Just start scanning through your body for any places of tension you might have left. Relaxing that space between the eyebrows. Feeling your eyes heavy in their sockets and your eyelids softening. Clenching the jaw and relaxing the whole mouth. Feeling the heaviness of the cheeks, the back of your head pressed against the mat. Feel your neck relax and your shoulders drooping towards the mat, just a weight of gravity doing its own thing. Feel your shoulder blades on the mat and your upper back and your buttocks. Relaxing the tummy and the pelvis and the hips. Letting the thighs roll to whichever side they want to roll. Relaxing the knees and the calves. Relaxing your feet and your toes. Reminding yourself of that intention you set up at the start of practice today. your mantra, whatever you wanted to apply to your practice today. Is this something that you use today in your practice? Did it help you in any way? Or is this something you want to take whenever you finish your practice and apply when you're not on your mat? Apply to life. Why was it important for you today? And then imagining this light, this calming and soothing light showering your whole body from the top of your head all the way down to your toes, leaving you feeling completely relaxed and at ease. I will leave you now, but enjoy your Shavasana for as long as you want and need. And thank you all for being here with me today and practicing with me. Thank you.